We got accepted. They pay for everything to do with my doctorate, and they give you a monthly stipend because the deadline was wrong and they had shut down the thing and they had to reopen it. It was a whole little debacle, y'all. I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna do my best. All right, y'all, we are about to start. My research for my thesis, it was over the sustainable practices in residential construction. Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be a new series called Engineering School Diaries. Okay, like I told y'all in the previous few videos, I'm going back to school to get my doctorate in engineering and computational science with a concentration in engineering systems. So I applied for that a little bit ago with y'all, and I told y'all we got accepted. Yes. So we already got accepted into school for my doctorate. So yeah, give it up to that. We got that done. Now, the next step is getting it paid for, okay? So like I told y'all previously, I applied for a fellowship and the interviews are today. I'm scared because I don't know what they're gonna ask me, but I'm excited to get it over with. So if I do get in, y'all, I think I told y'all like kind of what they do. So basically, in summary, short description, they pay for everything to do with my doctorate, and they give you a monthly stipend because you're gonna be doing research and stuff. So y'all, hopefully, you know, we praying, we getting in. So if you go back a few videos, I talked about me applying for it and filling out the application and all that, and the hassle that was, y'all, because I really thought the application had closed on me because the deadline was wrong and they had shut down the thing and they had to reopen it. It was a whole little debacle, y'all, and I was scared that I had missed the deadline. But everything worked out. Like, I just pray everything works out today with the interview. Yeah, so it was just a hassle getting the application and everything done, the recommendation letters, all that stuff. But I guess it was all worth it because now we move to the next round, round 2, which is the last round, obviously, and this is the interview round. So it starts at 9 and it's supposed to be from 9 to 12. They said we most likely are going to finish earlier than that, but that's the time they want me to cut out, 9 to 12. So that's what I did because I was supposed to be at work today at 7:30, but I'm taking a half day today and not coming in till 1 so that I have this time cut out for them. They asked, and we're doing a lot more than just interviews as well. So they made it a whole little agenda and stuff. So I think first on the agenda, you know, welcome, introductions, icebreaker, you know, all that. And so after that, I guess they set up a panel of current fellowship students, and they're going to have a little panel with us, I guess, possible incoming students. They're going to talk to us and we're going to be able to ask them questions like a Q&A form. And after that is when we have the small group panel interviews. So yes, y'all, I'm not going to be in a solo interview. It's going to be, because it's broken up into small groups. For my section, my little group interview, it's only going to be one other person. Now, I am not a big fan of group interviews. I need to focus, y'all need to be one-on-one. I like one-on-one. But however they do it, I'm just going to abide and try my best. I'm gonna pray, and that's all I got control over. I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna do my best, and that's it. That's all I got. But y'all, I don't know what they gonna ask. I don't know at all. I don't freaking know, and it really aggravates me because I like to be able to prepare. Like, I just don't even know like the realm of what they would ask me. But I'm about to go get dressed because, like I said, right after we finish at 12, I'm going to be heading down to the stadium, and I got to be there by 1 because I'm going to work from 1 to 4. I actually was not going to come in at all and just take a full day. But this is my first week, and this will be my first time attending an OAC meeting on this job site. So I was like, I might just come in half day just so I can get that meeting in, because I'm really curious as to like the dynamic of the architect, us, and you know, the owner and like everything. So let me go get dressed, y'all, for the day, and I will talk back to y'all when we're about to start the interview. It is on Zoom. That's one of the things I do. Like, I don't have to go in person nowhere. It's gonna be on Zoom, so that's one plus. So after I finish the interview stuff at home, hop in the car and go to work. Let's go. I need to find me something to eat. I need to figure out what I'm about to wear for the day. I need to take a shower because I didn't get to do none of that last night. If y'all watched my last video, y'all know the power went out. We had a big storm last night and it was a lot. But y'all gotta go watch that video to see all that. So I will talk back to y'all. Give me like that. Y'all, we are about to start. They must be behind schedule because they still ain't let me in, and it's 9:01.
Good morning, everyone. As you're coming in, we're gonna ask that you cut your cameras on.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I am Brianna Johnson, and I'm going for, you said department?
Your department. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so department is engineering.
Created a POTUS fellowship mainly to make a difference and impact. When I came to TSU, was a little taken aback at the impact and the results of students of color graduating on time with degrees, with jobs. And so knowing the unique experience that I had as an engineering student, I really took those experiences, the research that I did and still currently do, and some best practices, and came up with POTUS Fellowship. POTUS stands for Preparing Our Tomorrow Uniquely in STEM. As you know, POTUS is also the acronym for the president. It is not has anything to do with presidents or presidential nothing. It has received several awards for the impact that students coming out of this program have made, and the impact in general on producing students of color in the STEM fields at a doctoral level. You must work 20 hours a week, again, either as a TA and an RA. Your tuition is paid, and travel. You guaranteed, I think it's 2 travels a year when you're presenting.
I'd like you to tell me briefly about your undergraduate experience. Let's start with Ms. Johnson.
All right, hi everyone. I did undergrad here at TSU as an architectural engineering student. That's what I got my bachelor's in. And I did a lot of my research and stuff with Dr. Gordon, she's not here anymore, but her as well as Dr. Chimba. I guess it really starts from the beginning. So in high school, my high school had an engineering department. And so it really started from there. So I went to high school, if you know, MLK. And so I took engineering classes from my freshman year to senior year. I took intro to engineering, principles of engineering, civil engineering design. And so through that, that's what really started everything, my interest in all that engineering. And that's when I decided to go to TSU for architectural engineering. I also did the ECI program here the summer before I got into, summer before I started in the fall for my first year in architectural engineering. So I did ECI. I guess y'all would know what ECI is. And then
I used to teach in ECI.
Okay, well, yeah. So I did that the summer before, and then I also before that I did another. I think it's called summer. It's like a math academy that you all hosted. So I did that a summer as well. And so all that kind of just led me right back to TSU. I really loved my undergraduate experience. Dr. Gordon was a really help for me. She was my advisor all throughout and really just helped me with my schooling. And I didn't really have any issues. I really loved the engineering department. I loved a lot of the people that I met. I had great professors, and that just made me want to come back. So I got my master's, and then yeah, I was just like, why not finish it all the way through? I love to learn, and so that's also a big motivation for me. I'm always wanting to learn more, and so that's why I just kept getting the degrees and going back to school, and I love to learn. So that's one of my major factors. And then participating in organizations like AEI and NSBE and SWE, all of that just helped me through my undergrad and pushed me to want to do my master's and doctorate.
Okay. Thank you for that. Tell me about your research experience.
Okay, so a lot of our research was on sustainability practices. And so since my specialty or emphasis was in construction, I did a lot of mine along with sustainable practices in construction and building. That was both of them are in sustainable practices, my undergrad and my just different ways. So with my bachelor's, when I was doing research, then it was, I guess our capstone research project was kind of different that year because we were doing a design challenge where we were giving a project, to build a building to build. It was just a school, a multi-purpose area, but a building in a school. And they gave us a list of requirements that we needed to meet. And we basically acted as a design and building team for this said project that they were going to create. And so we had our architectural team, we had our mechanical people, and obviously I was on the construction team. And we all just acted as if we were those people for this design challenge. And so most of the research was us trying to, support the way we did things. So in construction, we had to create a budget, we had to create a schedule, and we just had to support the way that we had created these things. Instead of just doing it and, oh, here's the schedule, here's this, we have to support it based off of, the going rate in the industry. So we had to go talk to professionals in construction. I think one of the people we partnered with was from Turner Construction. So we went to them and they gave us a lot of insight on getting our budget done, the scheduling, what are those practices that they normally use in the industry right now. So the going rate for certain materials and things like that. And so that's how we were able to create our budget and our schedule and everything we had to give them for our part of the project. So that was a little different. My thesis for my master's was in residential sustainability practices. So I created a residential sustainability checklist. We proposed one for Nashville. That was more so because a lot of the sustainable practices checklists and all that, they are generalized mainly for commercial. That's not really something that's pushed very heavily in the residential world. And I worked in residential construction for a long time prior to this. So I knew that wasn't something that people emphasize, but majority of US construction is residential housing. So it didn't make sense for us not to be focusing on that. And then in Nashville in 2022, they had put together, a proposal to reduce greenhouse gases by 2050. So it was this big proposal thing to do that. And so that was one of the reasons why I came up with this sustainability checklist for Nashville, since the built environment is the main thing that comes with emitting those and pollution and our natural resources. Why not come up with a way that will help reduce that with building in residential? So that's what I came up with. After I came up with that checklist, based off the research that I had about sustainable practices, then I had stakeholders, basically people who would benefit from this checklist and people who are in construction. So I sent it to a whole bunch of people that I knew that was in the construction industry, and they basically surveyed it, how well they think it will perform. And yeah, that was my research for my thesis. It was over the sustainable practices in residential construction.
So, just personally, I'm curious to know.
All right, y'all. So we just finished. It was a lot longer of an interview than I expected. They did the rest of the agenda really quick and fast, but the freaking interview took forever. Like an hour-long interview. Ridiculous. But I do think I did pretty good. Because even at the end, one of the things they said that a lot of people did not talk about was networking. And I definitely mentioned networking. I think the question was outside of the monetary benefits of being in the program, what would you like to get out of it? And one of the things was networking, professional development seminars. And so when he said that at the end, that's one of the most important things, and a lot of people did not mention it, I feel like that was okay, I did good by mentioning networking. So I know that's probably one of the ways I stood out, because he said I was one of the few people that mentioned networking, and that was an important aspect of the program. So that made me feel good about my interview, as well as one of the other things they said, personal development, conferences, the importance of just wanting to learn and not just coming in, oh, I'm gonna do my 20 hours and just be done, or I'm gonna cut my research off at 20 hours. Me talking about how much I love to learn and how important it was for me. So I really emphasized on a lot of the stuff that they ended up mentioning at the end that was very important for the program and the type of people they wanted in the program. So that's why I feel like I did really good. The only thing I will say, which is one of the things I didn't like, was at the end she got on people who didn't ask questions when, babe, this is a lie. What I'm going through with my nephew's death and everything that I have going on right now, I was doing good just to get on the dang interview and not having to reschedule it. My nephew was just killed the weekend before last. So I'm doing good just being up, moving, trying to keep a smile on my face, trying to do what I need to do. And so that irritated me a little bit, just the saying of it. And I know she wasn't trying to be like personal to me. She was talking to everybody in the room because everybody not going through the same thing. But that took me off because I'm literally doing my best at trying to keep me mentally together and sane right now and continuing to do what I'm supposed to be doing with work, with business, with school, with family, everything. So that rubbed me the wrong way. Her getting on everybody about the people who didn't ask questions at the end. So that hurts me a little bit. But really, I know it was just because of the emotional state that I'm in. So that's why I'm not going to let it, I'm just going to shake it off. I'm not going to let it get to me too much because she don't know what I'm going through. She was just making a general statement. So let me not take that to heart. But one of the other things she said, that this is probably what is going to make me not do the fellowship, even if I get in. But she said at the beginning that we are not allowed to work and do the fellowship, which to me, I didn't think it was a set in stone thing. Some people might say, oh, well, why did you think you would be able to? When I got my master and I did the STARS program at TSU, which paid for my schooling and all that stuff, I still had to go to seminars, I still had to do research, and they had a list of requirements too. I was allowed to work and go to school, and I did fine with both. So it wasn't automatically like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do both. But for this specific program, they said you cannot do both. I probably won't do it because I'm not going to give up the job that I just started for this. You can always apply the next year. So I'll probably just redo all this next year and try to get into the fellowship next year, even if I do get in this year. So we'll figure out that then. I'm really just going to see how it plays out, honestly. I did also try to go another route now that she just told me that we can't do both. I did go ahead and email the dean of my department and told them the situation, that I was applying for the fellowship, and that basically I just learned this during the interview thing today, that I could not work and do this, but I was just presented this great opportunity. And basically, like, is there another alternative funding opportunity so that I can still go to school in the fall? It just won't be through the fellowship program. And so I just sent that email off right now. When she said that, it made me disinterested a little bit. So I was debating. I texted my mom, should I just log off? Why am I wasting my time during the interview and all that? Because she said that before we went into the break rooms for interviews. I'm like, should I just log off and all this stuff? But I felt like if I logged off and just didn't explain, didn't say anything, I felt like that would have been kind of irresponsible. As an adult, a student, and a professional, I don't know. I just didn't like that. And I didn't want to handle it that way. So I just went ahead and finished the interview. Plus, it also gave me insight on how the process is completely, so that next year I have no problem. I know what to expect throughout the whole application process because I've been through the application process before. So I felt like that was two reasons. I didn't like the way it would look, and because you don't want to ruin a relationship or ruin a first impression of yourself. And so I feel like by me just logging off randomly and not giving a reason why, not saying anything, I don't think that would be a good start to a professional relationship with my possible advisors and teachers and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't do that, and I just finished it. But I'm gonna leave the opportunity open. I just want to see what they said. So we'll see. She said by July 31st we would know, and I'll get a response from my dean and stuff. I know if there is other opportunities, and if it is, hopefully it is. That way we can still go to school and work, and I'll just have a separate scholarship paid for it. If that works out like that, y'all, that'll be perfect, because then I won't have to, with the fellowship, like I was telling y'all, we had requirements. Well, I don't know, y'all probably heard it on the session too. We had a whole lot of requirements we had to meet as students, as far as conferences we had to go to, research works we had to turn in, and meet, and monthly meetings and all this type of stuff. And we had to work 20 hours. We had to work 20 hours in person and all that. So it would have been a lot, but I was down to do it. Like I said, I did it before. So that was cool with me to do. But since we cannot do that, the alternate route is getting another type of scholarship that is not a fellowship, that wouldn't have all these requirements, and it would just be a grant for them to fund school. And that way I would just be focusing on my classes in school. I don't have to worry about no extra stuff like I would have with the fellowship. So I'm about to go get dressed for work. It is 11:14. I don't even have to get dressed right now, but I do want to take a shower and all that stuff. Let me go update my parents on how it went. Then I'm gonna get dressed and then we're gonna head to the job site. Yeah, so that is the end of Engineering School Diaries episode 1. And hopefully this works out for me, y'all. I already got accepted. I just need to find the funding. But yeah, I'll see y'all in episode 2 when we learn what route we're taking.